All right, everybody. I'm glad I can do this tonight. I hope I can get through a lot of it. I was blessed enough to do a recent sale, and I got some really cool stuff here that I'm going to show you tonight. It all started with the history of aircraft nose art. It was right on top, and I was like, oh wow, I got to check this out. So we'll probably look at that first. But I just wanted, this was driving me a little crazy earlier. I want to get these in order-ish. I lost sleep over this collection come Friday night. I actually went to the first night Thursday. I was a gated community sale, and the synchronicity of the universe, as it would be, I didn't know it the first night, it was my dentist growing up. So he recently passed, I had heard, which kind of bummed me out. I got to tell you, a good dentist is worth their weight in gold teeth. Let me tell you something. And he was one of the good ones. He had daughters, I believe, is what my mother used to tell us. And he'd call us honey all the time whenever he'd work on our mouths. And he also let me pull one of my dog teeth or my eye teeth for my braces. He couldn't get a good angle on it. And I said, Doc, let me try. And they pulled 4 teeth that day. And I did it. I pulled it. And it came out by the root real long and beautiful. And he was like, wow, you do great work, Eddie. You should really consider a job in dentistry. And I'm not joking. And it's interesting because he was a dentist, and a lot of the authors of these war books, okay, this is just like the tip of the iceberg, folks, okay? I lost sleep over this collection. I went in, I looked at it the first night, and I picked up part of it, and then Friday, I didn't go back like I wanted to. I went back on Saturday when you can negotiate price, because you buy by weight when it comes to books. They're very heavy, and people don't want to move them, so you can negotiate. And there was tons of stuff like this. Hey, boo-boos. We can come over and see what's up, too? Yeah? Okay. So here's the Corsair Aces. Boo-boos, what are you doing? What are you doing up there? Hey, you. What are you doing? I think Mommy's getting sweet meats. I'm hungry for some reason. Because it's a midnight snack. They call it that for a reason. All right, let's go back to the Corsair Aces. And this is the Bent Wing Bird Over the Pacific by Walter A. Nuziano. Okay, here's the binding. It's not cocked, as we say in the biz. It's Arco Publishing. Does have a bit of a, what I would call a surface crease. It's just on the surface. It doesn't run completely through. Or maybe a scuff. I don't know. I will find out, I can assure you. There's the back, $5.95. Feels like an early 80s. I hope it's illustrated. Yeah, it is. 1979. And most of these are first editions. I tend to only buy first editions now. And I did get heroes from the past and villains, I suppose. Really interesting, but as I was saying a minute ago, a lot of these guys were DDS. dental science and the authors. And I mean, there is I can't even tell you how many books here, hundreds. I got hundreds. I couldn't pass it up. They're unclipped for all you pros. They're not marked. They're not reject. Okay. To my knowledge, what I got, none of them are cocked. This one's reprinted fall of 1993. Okay, so this wouldn't be a first edition then. This is going to be one of those later editions. But it's pretty, I'll tell you. The artwork is really something in these. Why nose art? A psychologist's review. When Jeff Ethel asked if I would be interested in writing a chapter for this book on nose art, my quick response was yes. The question came during an aviation tour he led to England in the fall of 1989. With visits to a number of air bases and museums of special interest to me, was going to see what remained of the 100th Bomb Group's air base in Thorpe Abbotts, since I flew there from that base in World War II as a B-17 navigator. Most of what had been the base has now been returned to its former use, farming. Huh. Hey, you know, it's hard for me to give an accurate depiction of what we're looking at with you doing this. Your belly's very warm, Boo, and relaxing. It's like having a little heating pad up there. Yeah. Why nose art? Well, why not? I mean, it's beautiful. And not all of it, for anyone that's going to try and make that argument. Some of it's comedic, and some of it's brutal. Here's the Blue Devil, Lady in the Dark, the Wong Wongo, the Chow Hound. What, Boo? What's the matter? Whoa. I'm just turning this because I ran across some stuff that was a little racy. So, not all of them though, but yeah, some of them. The pinup art I'm seeing was especially prevalent, which makes sense because that was what was very racy for the time. What's the matter, Boo-Boo? She is just... What's the matter, huh? What's wrong, Boo? Why are you acting so sketchy? Huh? Is my new collection of books freaking you out tonight? So, then there was the hardbacks, and there's some of the titles. Letters from Jerusalem, 1947-48, The Ghost That Died, at Sunda Strait, The Rise of the Fourth Reich, American Aircraft of World War II, Battle Over the Reich, Chieftain, Warships in Profile, number 1, 2, 3. There's U.S. naval fighters, The Discovery of the Titanic, and a Paul Klee retrospective that is quite lovely. And then there's all of these. Now, that's why I'm kind of making this video also, was to find out, perhaps someone out there might know right away, without me having to do a whole bunch of research, what these exactly, some of these are. They're not really magazines. Here's the Douglas Sky Raider, There's two of them. They look to be duplicate. Okay. And this one looks to be a little bit better. I see what he did. He upgraded. This one's a little chippy around the edging. This one's not. This is a darker blue as well. Probably a first printing, third printing, or second printing. A lot of times they'll lighten up. Let's see. Oh, and look at that. There is a loose page. Page 22. So let me put this back in. Okay. This is there you go, there's the $4.95 price. Douglas Sky Raider. With the dedication, again, Arrow Publishers Inc., out of Fairbrook, California. Illustrated by Tohuru Maruyama and Hideki Yamauchi. Going to the copyright page, and this one is 1969 Arrow Publishers Inc., all rights reserved, printed in the United States of America. Okay, now let's go back here. All right, let's take a look at the one that I'm trying to chip now. And look, I opened right to it. And this one says 1979 printing. So this one is the later edition, the darker blue. So the reverse was true that time. The lighter one ended up being the early edition, and the darker one is the later edition. And they're very similar in every other respect. Even the marks, I guess those are stars, maybe. I don't know. No, they're marks. They're marks within the plate, it looks like. Interesting. Don't see that very often. Or I guess maybe I just don't notice it very often. And then there's stuff like this right here, the HMS Belfast. Okay. Something about this gentleman right here. Forward by Admiral of the Fleet, the Earl Mountbatten of Burma. And these are lovely, lovely books of some kind of a reference nature. And this one is dated that's a great question. This one's dated 1971, the Macmillan Press Limited. Price 44 pounds, I think, maybe. I don't know. Okay, beautiful, you know, laminate, really nice for its age. Okay, boom. Now what we got here, we got the Sherman tank, 41 to 45, production models by Chris Ellis and Peter Chamberlain, weapons series by the Allmarks publication. Okay. Okay. Sherman tank. Booyah! Military Might. First published, 1970. All rights reserved. So there you go. It's wow. So this would be a first edition of this particular UK price. Okay. So this is really interesting. And then this one says here, first published 1970, printed in UK. So this is like a first edition of this, whatever this is. Okay. Really neat. Really, really neat. The Bradley fighting vehicle. Every time I see the Bradley fighting vehicle, I think of Fraser Crane playing that military fellow, explaining about how the Bradley fighting vehicle came in so over budget. It was a great movie, if you haven't seen it. Modern Israeli Tanks and Infantry Carriers, 85 to 2004. Marsh Gilbert, illustrated by Tony Bryan. Very, 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 very nice books. The illustrations are fantastic. They're not, see, that's the thing. They're not really magazines. They're of great historical significance, though. I mean, I don't even know what these are really considered. And these were pretty much given to me. I'm just going to say that right now. By some great people. I tell you, I love this kind of stuff, especially when it's something new. Here's the Warbird Text Series, Northrop Volume 44, F5, F20, T38. Okay. Details on avionics and electrical systems, combat and armament specifications, power plant specifications, ground support, aerial intercept missions and training, and technical drawings by Frederick A. Johnson. And boom, shebanga. I mean, really nice stuff. I mean, I couldn't be happier. So last time I went really over on time. I'm going to try and keep these right around 15 minutes and see if that helps with how long it takes to upload them and if I can actually put names on stuff. But I'd really like to go through the rest of this collection and, let all you collectors out there check it out, This is a great book collection. Book and, I don't really want to say periodicals because that's not right. Here's this is a second printing. It says a 69. So it's a first edition. Second U.S. edition, second printing. It's a stated. So that's good. Arco Publishing Company. I don't care. It's worth $20. And it's easily worth $20. This is British and American Tanks of World War II. Arco Publishing Company. $5.95 originally. $20. But you know what? I wouldn't ask that. I'm sure if I went online, there'd be a lot of other people that are asking probably right around that same amount. So I'd like to go for $9.99. $9.99, you pay $5 for shipping. That's fair. It's a nice book for a soft cover. And the majority of this collection was hardcover. This right here is just a cross-section of what was in the basement and why I lost sleep all night Friday. I was like, I got to get back out there on Saturday. Or actually, no, I did go out on Friday. I take that back. I went out on Friday morning and I purchased at the asking price what stuff went for. And then Saturday I went out and I wheeled and dealed. But I did lose sleep most of those nights because it was these right here actually is what was haunting my dream. And here's why. This is what it was. I mean, they were just so cool. They're called the AirCam Aviation Series. And I'm not a flyboy, okay, by any means. But these are not cocked. They are, here you go. They're high-end, beautiful, numbered. Okay, I did notice the first day that I believe number 1 is missing. So I don't know if he did not have it. Maybe I'll find it somewhere else within, like what I just did here. Here's another one. Is that a map? I believe that's a map of some kind. Let me just keep that together, though, in case they go together. Sometimes it helps to establish provenance. Okay, so I've got the North American P518C Mustang, USAF service. Arco AirCam Aviation Series number 5. And it's very, very, very well made. I mean, and I remember I opened it up and I looked at them and I was like, wow, these are so cool. And these are from 1969, Osprey. And I'm going to let the pictures do the talking. when I opened it up, that was one of the things that I noticed right away was the very neat tail marking, nose marking sections that were in full color. Pretty cool. And most of the run, you know. So I'm not gonna bitch. I'll buy the that's pretty cool. I will buy the number one if I need to. I'll find one offline to round out the collection just so I have it, because I think I'll keep this one. This will go with the aviation stuff I have in my library. So number 6 and number 7 look very similar. Huh. Number 8, number 10, number 11, number 23. He was 19. Number 30. Number 32, they raised the price, it looked like. They're up in the upper 20s. And we were into 1971 at that point. So there was those. And then there was a book that separated the two. Aircraft of the Aces. And then after that, there were these, which were very similar. Okay. And I'm not sure. Look, there's number 4. That's the fun part, is going back and like, hey, it is in there. Awesome, I do have it. This is kind of cool. Yeah, see, I'm going over on time. But it's like, I don't even care, because this stuff is so cool. And I want to show you as much as I can. I don't know that I have very many more of this series here. I don't know if someone else purchased them from under me, because I didn't get there until the next day. But I don't think that I did. I don't think anybody got there. Everything looked to be pretty complete and original, and as they were stored, there were 6 bookcases worth of books to go through. So here's these. Again, nothing's cocked. Everything is very square, tight, high and tight. And then there is stuff like this. Here's a book on General Dynamics of the F-16 by William G. Holder. William D. Sorow Jr., Ph.D., an Aero Series number 26. And here we go. And it's got all this good stuff inside of it. And this one is, there's the ISBN number, out of Fallbrook, California. Great place, I imagine. Never been there, but here we go, 1976. And then after that, we have the U.S. Army Air Force in the Pacific, Aero Pictorials. There's a Grumman F-14, Tomcat. Again. There's the backs of them are nice and shiny and nice and new. Hey, not the Love Shack. Stratofortress Boeing B-52. That's a nice sound when they crack like that. Sometimes the pages come flying out like pastry flakes everywhere, and it's not good, but these sound good even. So we'll end it with the F-106 for the moment.